And Francis joins us right now via Zoom to tell us a little bit more about his service in Vietnam. We appreciate you talking to us, Francis.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, Jeremy.
So tell me, if you could, about your worst day in Vietnam.
My worst day in Vietnam started my first day in Vietnam. I just got in country and I had pulled guard duty on my artillery unit and was talking to a guy, and all of a sudden he was dead.
Wow.
And we were starting to get incoming, and I just hit the dirt, and it was the scariest part of my life.
Wow. So right away you got this taste for how serious this was going to be.
Yes, sir. And then there was that incident at Thunder 3 where my old unit got hit just after I left, which is very lucky for me. And my last day in Vietnam, they still tried to get me.
What happened on your last day?
I was in an underground bunker that collapsed, and somebody couldn't sleep and woke us up, and I was the last person up the door, and the force of the blast threw me across the parking lot.
You couldn't get out of there soon enough, could you?
Oh man.
Were you ever seriously injured during your time over there?
Fortunately, I wasn't, no.
Yeah. Tell me what happened at Firebase Thunder 3.
Thunder 3 was on, it was called Thunder Road. It was a road coming out of Saigon, going to the north, and there was fire support bases spread along it. And we were at Thunder 3 one day. We'd been there for a couple of days, and everything was quiet, nothing going on, and I was on gun 6. And the runner came up, said first sergeant needed to see me. I thought, well, okay, I'm in trouble. But I went up to see him. He says, "Hall, can you type?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Well, you're the new battery clerk, so get on that chopper out there that's warming up and report back to the base camp." And I've never moved so fast in my life, Jeremy. My old friends on the gun, they didn't even know what was going on. I just grabbed my bag and just left.
Yeah. So you got out of there and just in
I got out of there, and then that evening they got hit. My old gun got hit. All the guns were knocked out, actually, which is quite rare for an artillery unit in Vietnam in those days. All the people on my old gun were wounded, and I still keep in touch with a few of them. Just nothing like terror, to bond people together.
Do you often think about what might have happened had you not been reassigned at the last minute?
Jeremy, I thought about that every day of my life. There's no answer to that. I can ponder it all I want, but there's no answer to that. It's just luck of the draw.
Yeah.
Tell me how you found yourself in Vietnam in the first place. You were in college, you left school, and then went to Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri?
I dropped out of college in my second year, and it was 1967, and the draft was just hitting its peak in those days. And they picked me up right away, sent me to Missouri, and but for the incident with the rifle qualifications, I probably would have ended up in the infantry, and the outcome would have been quite a bit different, I'm sure. But since I had an over-oiled gun and fogged my glasses up, and I barely passed the rifle course, that low rifle score and my high IQ score put me in the artillery rather than the infantry. And how many of those individual acts that occurred along that pathway saved my life? All of them? One of them?
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. It does.
Are you a man of faith? Do you think God had a hand in this, or what do you think?
I think it was more luck of the draw. I believe in a higher power, absolutely. But in combat, in war, it's just pretty much luck of the draw.
Yeah. How often do you think about Vietnam and what happened over there?
Every day.
Still 50 plus years later.
Yes. Yes. I had the privilege recently to be on an honor flight from Southern Nevada to DC with 35 other veterans. and it was a singular experience in my life, very defining, very heartwarming. Um, I felt very honored to be part of that.
Yeah.
I haven't felt that way in a long time. Yeah, we got out of Vietnam. I left Vietnam in 1969, and we pulled out as a country just a few years later.
Yeah.
And because of all the turmoil, the political turmoil, the personal turmoil going on in those days, we never talked about it. Never talked about the war, what happened over there. It was just something you never talked about.
Do you talk about it now?
Yes, yes.
How did Vietnam change you as a person forever?
My first night in country, when that mortar round came in and killed the guy standing beside me, and I hit the dirt, I was never more scared in my life. But then almost instantly, the order came for fire mission. I had to stand up, I had to do my job, and I did it. That right there was the singular most defining moment in my life, to face fear like that and to just overcome it. I have a hat I wear today that says duty, honor, country. And that's what the Army drilled into us. Do your duty, do it honorably, and do it for your country.
I'll bet there was a time when you wouldn't have worn anything that said Vietnam veteran on it, right?
Many years, yes, sir. Many years. When I got out of Vietnam, I went back to college and finished up. And you didn't talk about it. There were still protests going on in college campuses in those days, and you didn't talk about it.
When did that change, and why do you think it changed?
Changed. I think it started to change in what was it, 1975, when we pulled out of Vietnam. Um, a defining moment for our country, and as well as for the people in their country. All the boat people ensued. Uh, a lot of immigrants come into this country that were relocated. Affected a lot of people's lives. I have a dentist here in Las Vegas that I went to recently. He was one of the boat people who came over in, I don't know, 75, 76, when it was all going on. Changed his life.
Yeah. It's funny. I have a waiter at one of my favorite restaurants in town, Vietnamese restaurant. He's in the same boat. He literally he was a boat person too, just a kid,
Mhm.
escaping that country by boat. Struggling in the waters off the shore, hanging onto a boat for his life, just trying to get to a better life, and finally found one over here. They found a better life here, but Vietnam's found itself in a better place in the years since. Lots changed over there. It's a thriving
Yes.
economy. It's doing really well. It's this odd mix of communism and capitalism. Have you ever been back, and would you ever go back?
I have not, and I will not.
What do you, in wrapping up here, what do you wish people knew about the Vietnam War that maybe they didn't at the time or maybe still don't now?
The futility of it. Um, I grew up in an era where we were proud to be in the United States. We won World War II. We helped win World War One. We, prevailed in Korea. We were the prevailing force in the world, and Vietnam changed all that.
Mhm.
It changed it in my mind.
Yeah. Well, I feel like America's gotten a little smarter about the respect they've given Vietnam veterans in the last 50 plus years, and I hope you've experienced that yourself. And if nobody else says it or ever will say it again, I want to say it. Thank you for your service in Vietnam, and thank you for all you've done for your country.
Thank you, Jeremy. I really appreciate that.
Francis Hall joining us via Zoom from North Las Vegas, Nevada. Thanks so much, Francis.
You're welcome.